Hi everyone, Kathleen here, and as many of you know, every Wednesday I pull a card from the Sacred Path Cards deck, which are based on Native teachings. And all of these teachings are about life lessons, and we've been pulling them for years, and they're right on, and they're to help guide us, to show us that we are here to learn these lessons while we are on the planet. And so they serve as a great guidance system. And just recently, with all that's going on with the coronavirus, the last couple of cards that I pulled were just so right on. One of them a couple of weeks ago was about this quickening, the powwow card, which was telling us, hey, get prepared. There's something that we're going to give birth to. We feel this anticipation and kind of going through labor, that's coming up. And that's kind of how we feel right now. We are in labor and delivering this new world, basically. We're all in this together with the virus. It's really affecting us globally, personally, and that's where we're at. And then this past week, I had pulled the West Shield card, which was all about introspection. That this past week was a time to go within. And at first, we're all like, what was that? What does that mean? Because this card usually shows up more like in the winter. It's like that time to go in hibernation. And usually with the springtime coming, it's like, well, aren't we supposed to be like really blossoming and, like the flowers and going out like outside? And here this card is telling us to go within. And obviously we know why now. It has been a week of introspection, really forcing us to be still, forcing us to go within, look within ourselves, look for our truth, and find some answers. And so anyway, so that brings us to today's card, which we're going to pull now and see, what is it, that these cards are telling us in terms of what we need to do this week. And understand that I'm considered a channel. I will channel messages from spirit. I have a very strong connection as a shamanic practitioner, and that is one of my gifts. And so I feel I am here to help people recognize who they are and who they've come here to be. And one of the ways I do it is through these Native teachings. I'm considered, I guess, a rainbow warrior. And a rainbow warrior is a person who feels called to do this kind of thing, to restore some of these lost teachings of the Native tradition. It's kind of like I'm white on the outside, but I feel pretty red on the inside because I resonate with these teachings so much. And I feel that they can help restore what they call the fifth world of peace by giving these messages and these teachings, getting them out, so to speak. So, okay, so, all right, let's see what today's or this week's card is. Asking what it is that we need to know at this time and see how we can apply it into our lives. All right. All right, perfect. So here's our card for this week. It is the Arrow card. It's a number 12. 1 and 2 is a 3. It's all about self-expression. And it's also about the truth as protection. So you can see with this Arrow card that the arrow is straight and true, as we know. And so if we look at the Native American teaching regarding the warriors, in order to become a warrior, it required somebody to be very brave. It required them to balance this courage with common sense, with integrity, connection to spirit. Also that in order to be a warrior, you need to balance masculine and feminine energies, because if you allowed your dominant male side to take over, it could actually lead to problems. So it was very important for the men to find those feminine characteristics, the more nurturing, receiving, intuitive characteristics. And so, yeah, so when we look at this card, you know, that arrow is straight and true. And it's also saying that, you know, if there was an issue with some of that masculine energy, there was a chief, and the chief was there to maintain order, because the law was brotherhood. It was about bringing people together, which seems to have been lost in our world of separation. So they would actually have those blood brother ceremonies, you know, where they cut in a small slit in their wrists and exchange blood. Of course, we don't do that today, but we don't have to. But the point is that it's bringing people together instead of being separate. And so the way we can do this is using truth as our protection, and it's also our weapon. So when we pull this card, this card is about finding our truth. And what better way to be able to do that is by being still. And that's where we've been this past week, and that's where we'll be for probably quite a while. Slowing down and getting in touch with our feelings, number one. You know, what are the emotions that are coming up? And I know for a lot of us, there's been a lot of fear and a lot of anxiety. So this is a time to really acknowledge that. And it's okay to feel that way. Sit with it, feel it, let it move through you. Ask yourself about it. You know, get in touch with that side of yourself and allow it to dissipate, and allow yourself to start asking those deeper questions about what is it that I really need? You know, what are these illusions that you're holding on to? What is it that I really need to have? What is it that I really need to do? Who am I really? Am I living my truth, or am I living according to other people's or society's expectations? This is a time where we dismantle a lot of those old beliefs and these old patterns. It's taking us away from all that frenetic, busy disease, that activity out there that allows us to slow down at this point, to ask those deeper questions. You know, what's really important? So this card is telling us to use this week as a time to look at those old patterns and limiting beliefs and get to your truth, moving out of your head, which is very fear-based, thinking, monkey mind, ego, and down into that heart space where compassion lies, where love lies. And when you start dismantling this and you start recognizing your truth and who you are, and you know, sometimes this obviously that creates change in our lives. It changes us as a person. It changes maybe what we want to do. It changes our goals. It changes a lot of things. And some other people who know you might start questioning you. And this is where the truth is your protection. You can't be hurt by the lies of others. Obviously, as we go through these changes, there will be people who will not honor your truth, and you have to be compassionate. You want to stay on the sacred path. They might have some things to say about you, you know, but you can't be hurt by the lies of others as long as you know what your truth is. So try to associate more with people who will honor your path at this time as you find yourself changing. And like I said, the others who are still in that fear, ego state, we just have to have compassion for them and let them, you know, kind of be on their own path for as long as they need to be on it until they start to awaken as well. And so that's our card for this week. It's about staying on your path with your truth, finding out who you really are and who you came here to be. And so if you enjoy this kind of thing and you haven't really followed me before, you're welcome to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You're also welcome, if you're a woman, to join the Life Talks for Women group, where we take each card every week and we go deeper. And so that's where we're at this point. So thank you for joining, and I will see you again next week for some more Wednesday wisdom. Take care.